Hey everybody, it's Nathan here back with a very quick video and a community question for you regarding RPG novelization worlds. So my question for you is going to be, what worlds do you recommend that are articulated and shown in novelizations? What are those books or settings that you would recommend that people could be on the lookout for? In a case like I was in the thrift store, I found 4 books in the same thrift store trip, and I felt like I hit gold. Now, let me walk you quick through what I found. Number 1 was a Greyhawk book here. Greyhawk used to be the go-to setting in Dungeons and Dragons. With 5th edition, it's changed to Forgotten Realms, but this is book 3 in the series. I have 1 and 2. Those were written by Gary Gygax. This is written by Rose Estes, but again, the price was right. I don't even know if this thing's been cracked open. Why Greyhawk and why this book? Well, it's a world that I'm familiar with, the world of Greyhawk, and I'm also familiar with the rules that it's built out of Dungeons and Dragons. Now, the next setting here, and again, brand new book, and this is a really recent book. I was so stoked to find this, is a Pathfinder book. This one is by Richard Lee Byers, Pathfinder setting book. Now, in the case of Pathfinder, I'm familiar with the rules, but honestly, I've usually glazed over or kind of flown past any of the world description. So I thought this would be a great primer into what kind of world is set up in and around Pathfinder, the role-playing game. Another find here, Shadowrun. There were a ton of Shadowrun books. I went with the one that sounded the most, here's the world, here's a dude with a mullet, and everything seemed to make sense going forward. Shadowrun, I am not familiar with the rule set. I know a little bit about the concept, and I'm not really super familiar with the world, other than I know it's kind of a post-apocalyptic mullet-wearing society. Thought this would be a great introduction into the world, and then from there I can decide, hey, would this be a rule system that I'd be interested in learning more about. Lastly, there were a bunch of Timothy Zahn books. Now, Timothy Zahn won a Hugo Award, science fiction award, for the short story that is inside of this compilation called Cascade Point. Now, if you don't know the name Timothy Zahn, what you might know about is his series Heir to the Empire, the Thrawn series it's called, Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command. He wrote a number of other Star Wars novelizations, which are really great books. Well, I figured the guy won an award for Hugo Award for Cascade Point. I wanted to read more about that. Now, there are no rules around that story, and there is its own world. It's a new world to me too, so that's what the appeal was to me. So again, back to the question, what would you recommend? Are there novelizations set in a RPG system that might be of interest or that you'd highly recommend? Or is there just a great series of novels that you'd say, hey, this is a great world, period. Either adapt your campaign for it or find some way to gain inspiration from it. So thanks, guys. Hope that you have fun exploring whatever novelizations you're reading about, and I'd love to hear your recommendations. Take care.